So your opening, which is one of the great things you do, 9 o'clock on the West Coast, noon on the East Coast, every day I listen to Colin, and he always has something interesting to say. And your interesting thought today was, man, Tampa's been right there for a long, if they've just been a quarterback away for a long time, correct?
Yeah, I mean, if you look at the dysfunction, you can usually point to meddling owner, Washington, Cincinnati, Cleveland, cheap owner, Cincinnati. The franchise has gotten coaches right. Gruden, Dungy. Sam Weiss was a good football coach. Arians. They've won a Super Bowl.
Dirk Cutter.
Yeah. Well, I mean, everybody's whiffed. I mean, every program,
Yes.
But they've done the coaches right. The Glazers are very wealthy. And when I was there, incredibly decent people and willing to spend money. They've had good front office people. They have drafted well. I mean, look at their weapons now. They are last since 1976 in one category, which is every category with quarterbacks.
Right.
I'm not saying they're winning the Super Bowl, but you can point to like bad owner, bad GM, none of that exists. And also, Doug, unlike Jacksonville, it's not an apathetic fan base. Like when I was down there, it is NASCAR, college football, NFL. You can have everything. It is a great NFL city.
Okay. I woke up this morning, and I don't want to know if it's an epiphany. I do have epiphanies occasionally. Plus, I think epiphany is an incredible word.
Yeah,
it's a really good word. Like you throw it, you're like, that's a profound thought. If Bill Belichick, okay, Bill Belichick historically struggles to make an accurate read on one position. What position is that?
Wide receiver.
Right, he's bad at wide receiver.
He's bad.
He's just bad. Everybody's got something they're bad at, right? Like in radio, some people are bad at interviews. Some people are bad at open segments. Some people are bad at the clock management.
Yeah.
Some people, everybody's got, Michael Jordan, he didn't go left all that much,
no.
Right? Kobe didn't go left all that much. LeBron James, currently it's free throws, right? Everyone's got a weakness. Belichick's weakness has been wide receiver. And I have no idea whether or not it set Tom Brady off. He's like, wait, Stephon Diggs and Nuke Hopkins could have been had for nothing, and that would have solved our wide receiver needs. But he's done pretty well with the quarterback evaluations.
Yeah.
Right? Like, Matt Castle's a guy, didn't play at USC, wasn't a great quarterback, but did win them 11 games. Granted, they had a great team that won 18 games the year before. There are currently two other starting quarterbacks. Jimmy Garoppolo, we'll see, Jacoby Brissett, probably not a starter, but whatever, that they evaluated properly, right?
Yeah.
What if Bill Belichick is laughing right now? Because Tom Brady's actually over the hill. Like, we haven't, I get it. He's the most accomplished quarterback in the history of the sport. He's 42 freaking years old. He's going to a new system, one that likes to throw the ball down the field. He doesn't throw the ball down the field. And as much as we can rightfully blame all of the litany of wide receivers that couldn't cut it in New England.
Yeah.
Right? Belichick has a history of timing it right, where he trades you away.
Yeah.
Seymour, Lawyer Malloy, Logan Mankins, Solder, whatever. You have one good year and then off the cliff. If you look, Tom Brady, one good year after they wanted to deal him, they wanted to part ways.
Yeah.
And then last year, it was kind of off a cliff. Now, it wasn't all his fault.
Right.
We woke up today and everybody's like, man, Tampa's a Super Bowl contender. But you just told me you have a franchise that historically cannot figure out the quarterback situation.
Right.
You have another franchise who that guy has made the hard decision time and again and generally has gotten right. Why now do we think that Bill Belichick's an idiot and Tom Brady wins this one?
Well, I think Tom's going to be productive. I don't think he's at a point where he's going to carry anything. I think this is a situation actually that works for Tom, and that's why he chose it. He doesn't have to do a ton of heavy lifting. They're going to get a right tackle and a running back. Todd Bowles is an excellent coordinator. They have a good D-line, some really young stars in the secondary. I don't think they're going to lean on Tom athletically as much as we think. I think what they want with Tom is efficiency, accuracy, limit mistakes. I think this is, just think about this. This was a team, Tampa, that was a game away from 500 that had 35 turnovers from the quarterback position. That doesn't count fumbles from receivers, backs. 35 turnovers from quarterback. 2 a game. And they were, in 6 of their 9 losses, touchdown or less. This is a situation Tom looks at and thinks, you know what? I can sometimes throw the ball up and Mike Evans will catch it. He's never played with a receiver over 6'5", Brady. Moss is 6'4".
Okay.
So they have 2 good tight ends, 2 good receivers. I don't think Tom has to be great. In fact, what I said before Brady was, I think Teddy Bridgewater could win 10 games here. And he doesn't throw the ball down the field at all. I think this team is the rare, we're a quarterback away. I think Indianapolis is that, and I think Tampa is that. There are a lot of teams that think they're a quarterback away.
Sure.
They're not. I think Indy is, and I think Tampa Bay is, and I think Tom said, you know what? I don't have to carry this team. I've been carrying the team I'm at. I do believe, to your point, that, and I said this, I noticed this 3 years ago, maybe 4, and Bucky Brooks, I remember texting me, and he said, wow, that's interesting. I noticed Brady was declining in December. He was fine in the warm weather, but by December, that arm was shot.
Right.
So I do think this is a franchise where they need to have a running game, and I think they're gonna address running game and address right tackle. I think they're going to really try to make it. Tom comes in, no mistakes, good leadership, detailed, accurate. Let's just say Brady's as good as Bridgewater. I think they win a bunch of games.
Okay, I want to point this out. These were the wins that they had last year.
Yeah.
Cardinals, good team or bad team? Not good.
Depending on the half.
Early in the year,
not great.
Right. Falcons, early in the year, bad team. Jaguars, Colts, Lions. Right. That's and they beat the Rams.
Nice win.
Was it?
Well, they were 9-7.
Okay. And they beat the Panthers. They didn't beat one playoff team. Not one.
But they were in games with 4 of them.
Okay.
Well, that's what they're saying with Brady is it's like
those losses. But here's the well, there's a couple issues. Okay. One, that offense is designed for risk reward. Like that's the big thing with Arians. Arians he's still a believer in the vertical passing game.
Yeah.
Tom Brady used to throw a great deep ball. He does not or has not.
Right.
And I would grant you that playing in better weather, not just you play in warm weather, but also remember 2 of the road games in the division are in a dome.
Yeah. Tom, by the way, sought warm weather, which I never thought was a thing. I think that's Tom acknowledging like to be a little looser.
No question. Yeah. And look, that's one of the things that Favre struggled with. When Favre lost his last game as a Packer to the Giants, people forget he said the whole game he's over there trying to get loose in the sideline. Your body, anyone you get in your 30s, your 40s, your body doesn't loosen up.
Yeah.
I just, like, we're all looking at the best possible scenario. We do this all the time.
Yeah.
And it's funny, like, I actually think of the exact same thing with LeBron. Like, I have a couple friends with the Lakers, and we were talking about things last night. And I was like, well, the good thing is LeBron will be back fully rested if the NBA season gets back underway. And they were like, yes, so will everybody else. And like, and he's still 35 years old. And it's so games, and especially if you have to play games, in closer proximity, it's harder to get up for him. We did this thing with Malcolm Butler that Belichick's lost his mind. Belichick hurt his team. Belichick didn't understand. Belichick not playing Malcolm Butler in the Super Bowl, or maybe Belichick understood that Malcolm Butler, because he wasn't at practice, because he wasn't that good, he had just as good a shot of winning without him as he did winning with him. And, oh, yeah, by the way, he got rid of Malcolm Butler, and they were the better defense because of it afterwards.
But remember what Robert Kraft said a day ago. Bill and I were ready to have Tom as part of our team. We were ready.
Yes.
Tom left us.
Yes.
So the idea that Belichick bailed, Bill didn't show him a ton of love.
No, or maybe he said, look, at your age.
Here's the number.
Here's the number.
Yeah, no, but that's different than bailing. It's different than saying, honey, I'm going to watch what you spend, and honey, you get nothing. They were willing to play with Tom, but Tom, here is the number, and it's 26, not 33.
Yeah. Yes, except for if you know that a number below 30 or below 28,
yeah,
you're basically, this is what happened with Albert Pujols and the St. Louis Cardinals.
Yeah.
Okay, the Cardinals offered him a 6-year deal.
Yeah.
Before his last season.
Yeah.
And
they liked him.
No, they offered him enough to where they could turn to their fans. And then at the end of the year, they're like, we offered him a 9-year deal. There was like $3 $9 million options. And the Cardinals, by the way, were right. Look at the timeline. Like 6 years was each done.
Yes.
Right. And if the Angels and at the time the Marlins wanted to overpay, fine. But they offered him enough to where they could turn to their fans, just like Belichick and Kraft did. Turn to the fans and go, look, we offered him a deal. He just didn't take it. I got to offer him just enough to where he's not going to take it. Right? There's no way he's going to take that deal. But enough to where it's not a true lowball offer. Like there's a magical amount there. We both worked for a different company that would do that.
Ask yourself this. At some point, I'm going to be 88 years old, and I'll want to do radio, and this company won't have me. And I'll be saying, I got one more really good LeBron segment. And they won't want me. Okay.
It's just hot LeBron take.
Okay.
Will LeBron still be playing then?
Probably.
LeBron and his grandson.
Somebody in his family will be.
Yes.
But the key to me, I once talked to Bill Simmons about this. I said, as you age, you can still do great work. Just can't do 7 days of it. So as I've aged, I think you and I have talked about this, and I still feel like I'm in my prime. But as I get older, I'm going to want the best people around me possible. At 20 to 39 years old, I could literally turn a mic on and talk for 3 hours. And it wasn't necessarily great radio. I think Brady sees this and he thinks, listen, man, this is probably as good a weapons outside of Cleveland as the league has. And Bruce Price said, listen, we're going to get you a running back and a right tackle. Not a lot of heavy lifting, Tom. Just don't give me 30 turnovers. Give me 7. And I think Tom looks at it and thinks, this is pretty light lifting. By the way, no camp because of Corona. No preseason, perhaps. Tom's going to come in rested, loose, with all that brain power, and it's going to be like doing a radio show with 4 Ryans.
Here's the problem.
With 4 great producers.
Oh, look at
it's
you.
It's an easier show to do.
Look at you. By the way, I'm not sure if I told you, my children hate you. Why isn't Colin working? Why doesn't he ever work? Why every Friday does he fly to Utah and you got to go in and do that? I'm like, listen,
your
it's actually
children need to be molded to be tough, resilient.
That sounds great. Here's the other side to it. One, he won't get if there's no training camp. There's not the ability to put in this new offense, which is super complex. So much so that plenty of.
Can you get me Tampa's schedule real quick? Thanks.
Which is. I also love he didn't want to go to the Chargers because he didn't want to play against Pat Mahomes. Like, okay, so he's going to play against the Saints twice a year? Like, come on. What are we doing? Like,
I think proximity to New York was a big deal. I was told yesterday by my source he's moving his family to Miami, and he's going to go on off day. He's going to fly over.
That sounds like a guy fully invested.
Well, I don't think he is. I think one of the reasons he likes Bruce Arians, he Bruce's cocktails at 5:40. And I think Tom is like, I want to, whenever you leave jobs.
Yes.
You always solve the primary problem. The primary issue was not money. It was weapons, and it's no damn fun here. He's got weapons, and it's going to be fun. And I think, look, every time I've moved, I went back, and I've thought about that. I've written this down. You solve...
This is the next book, by the way.
You solve your primary complaint. It's not a money issue. Tom's loaded. It's no weapons, and we don't draft them well, and it's not much fun. That documentary was very telling. And it's like... He wants to go have fun in Tampa. He wants to mix it up and score some points and have some fun. And Bruce is not a guy banging on you. He's not. Bruce is like, go to the recital. Go to the soccer game with your kids.
What does he have to do to win this thing? What do they have
winning
to
record? Make a
winning record does not do that.
No, if he gets a wild card in that division, if Tom gets to the playoffs and is productive. He'll be productive. And he makes the playoffs 1 of 2 years. We're going to look at it and go, it's pretty good.
How ticked off is Drew Brees right now? Like, I'm telling you, Drew Brees is only playing football because Tom Brady is still playing football. It's the only reason.
Look at his schedule. Look at this Brady schedule.
Yeah. They play.
There's a lot of wins in here.
Well, Nick Foles just signed with the Bears, or just trade to the Bears. They go to... We don't know dates and times.
Chicago,
we don't even know if there'll be
Detroit,
football. Chicago on the road, Detroit on the road, Broncos on the road, Raiders on the road. He goes to Vegas. Saints on the road, obviously. Of course, they got the division teams, and they go to New York and play on the road. Home Packers, home Chiefs, home Vikings,
Look at they get all the tough
Home
games
Chargers,
at home.
yes, they do.
They get all the tough games at home.
But
now,
we can't do this. We can't do the Francesa. That's a win. That's a loss. That's a win.
I'm telling you right now,
loss.
10-6 or 9-7.
Dog, I see 10-7. 10-7.
10-6 or 9-7.
Wait,
are
they playing 17 games this year, or is it next year?
Next year, following year.
They still haven't figured out who gets the extra home game. Like you're gonna have teams get 9 home games, and some teams get 8 home games.
Every other year, you just flip flop.
Yeah, that doesn't seem equitable.
Well, why not?
We're judged based upon our record whether or not we go to the playoffs.
Well, I mean,
and if you play one more home game, it's going to be easier to make the playoffs when you have 9 home games.
And then the next year you have 1 fewer. I mean, you think football in this country, college football, is so inequitable with schedules. We can deal with, one time you have another roadie.
Yeah, outside of Jacksonville, that's losing all their home games in London anyway, I don't know
that
how
franchise is. I mean, you talk about just leaking oil.
Yes. Well, they're clearly trying to be. They are going to execute the tanking.
Yeah.
As well as it's been executed ever. They're just everything is gone. Gardner Minshew run around back there, be entertaining, and next year we'll draft one of the 2 quarterbacks.
Both played high school football in Georgia.
Really, really close to Jacksonville.
I wonder who the 3rd quarterback is.
Next year?
You're great. Yeah, because every year we find like a Jordan Love.
Yes.
So we know we have 2 superstar quarterbacks. I wonder who the third quarterback out there is.
My prediction is I think we'll be a little disappointed in Brady. Wild card I think would be disappointing for a guy who's won the division this much. It's hard to learn. Can you speak any other language?
Not really. I took a Spanish.
Right. So if you tried to speak Spanish right now, if somebody tried to teach you Spanish, how hard would it be?
I can speak a restaurant. I can order and say thank you.
You get my point, right?
Yeah.
Like I think it'll be harder than people think.
How much fun,
I think
though? Fox gets Brady, CBS gets Jarrett Stidham. Boy, that's a win for Fox.
That is.
I mean, seriously, they get next year. They get a Brady game against the Rams, Mahomes, Rodgers, and 2 Brees. I mean, that's like 6 national TV games.
Who wins the AFC East? The Jets with our guy Sam Darnold?
No, Buffalo. I like Buffalo. I think their coach and GM are sharp.
I think they're really good. I don't
The
know.
Jets have upgraded their own line.
I just don't know. Stephon Diggs with Josh Allen. I'm not sure that works.
Oh, it's fun, though. He's a deep ball thrower.
All right, he's Colin Cowherd. Not sure if you heard of him. He's a young, bright, up-and-coming star. Check him out. He's got a show. It precedes ours on Fox Sports Radio.
It breaks major stories.
It needs a lot of yes. Who can you give us a hint as to who the texter was yesterday?
Okay, it was not a football source.
I know you told us that.
Okay, it is a you know how like not just rich people but celebrities.
You're a rich celebrity.
No.
You are a rich celebrity.
No, I'm not. I'm saying
yes,
the
you are.
Source was
a rich
somebody
celebrity
who's in that kind of space. Here's how.
But you have their cell phone number. They have yours.
Yes.
Puts you in that space as well.
No,
I hate to
okay.
be that guy.
Here's how you know somebody is a celebrity. They don't go to work like the rest of us at 9 a.m. This is an infrequent worker. He works infrequently, and
is it somebody that? Hold on, I can actually do this.
He works infrequently.
Hold on.
Yeah.
Is it somebody that you actually got a chance to know more recently?
It's somebody I've known for a long time.
Okay. All right. It's not who I thought it would be.
Yeah, it's somebody I've known for a long time, and somebody that makes me laugh.
Okay.
So he's a funny celebrity.
Funny celebrity. There you go. Funny celebrity.
Jim Gaffigan broke the story.
The thing about Bacon is his bacon bit is really good.
A lot of his
bacon's
bits are
so good, even the pan cheers. Like that's a. Hey, what up? Doug Gottlieb here. Make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel here at Fox Sports Radio. You can catch my show, all the shows on Fox Sports Radio, unique interviews, strong takes, just interesting discussion on the sports topic of the day, of the week, of the month. It's all encompassing. It's everything you need right here on YouTube. Subscribe.